If they've gotten to pray for a stranger on the streets in Vancouver, then they can definitely pray for a friend in their school. Even though they look maybe worse off on the outside, like they are still creating God's image and
Come
they
on.
are. So what I really love in Vancouver is we actually get to give them practical tools to
Yeah.
then take home to their own community.
Hey everybody, we are here in set with Isabella Gertzen with what ministry?
With Youth with a Mission Vancouver, or you might know it as YWAM.
Okay, wow. So now what is the nature of your work here in Vancouver?
Yeah, and my role currently is I work with our youth, inviting youth into Vancouver for short-term outreach.
Okay, so you're bringing the nations here. I mean, Vancouver's a pretty awesome destination. I mean, I would think that you would get quite a wide array, a lot of diversity, huh?
So what I really love in Vancouver is we actually get to give them practical tools to
Yeah.
then take home to their own community.
Right on.
So
Yeah.
they get to see what the different organizations are doing in the
Yeah.
city. They get to walk the streets in prayer walks or talking to people, and then they can do that practically in their own community. So it's like kind of mission training in an urban setting instead of having that outreach experience so separate from their own community.
Well, so many people say, I want to go over there, or I want to be over there, or I'm called to the, faraway land, and there's a good reason for it. But that doesn't mean that we don't have our own needs in our own backyard. Yeah.
And Vancouver is full of so much diversity. People are coming from so many different closed nations
Yeah.
to Vancouver, and it's an opportunity that we have then to share with them in our
Yeah.
own backyard.
100%. Almost like mini nations, because the neighborhoods themselves are often dominated by a particular nation or country group. The Lower East Side is streets lined with people who are, you know, really struggling with substance abuse, physical violence, emotional needs. What what can a youth group do in an environment like that?
Their presence is very impactful.
Hmm.
When we have teams that come and they walk the streets in the downtown east side, our main objective for them is to just have conversations with people, to hear their stories, ask them questions. We send them with an extra lunch, not to give out because there's a lot of food in the downtown east side, but
Okay.
to invite people in to have lunch with them. That's how they get to be in the downtown east side.
Yeah.
And there is also still this reverence for innocence in the downtown east side. When we take groups of students down there, you'll often hear like kids on the block because there's still this recognition of innocence, whether or not that means they'll put away their drugs in that moment, or they just want to like
Oh,
bring
wow.
safety to the situation of
Really
like,
though.
hey, like
Yeah.
there's kids here, like be aware of like what we're doing, or and they'll even sometimes our groups will be going down a certain way, and then they'll get stopped, being like, hey, like you don't want to go down this street, like this is a little bit of a rougher area.
Yeah.
And we actually send the kids there, but then people in that area are trying to protect the kids
Sure.
too. This role of innocence that kids bring and that youth bring, I think, is really beautiful. And often the kids learn that the people there are just people that have stories,
Yeah.
that want to share it, want somebody to talk to them,
Yeah.
and that even though they look maybe worse off on the outside, like they are still creating God's image, and
Come
they
on.
are, they are worth talking to and spending
Yeah.
time with.
Yeah. 100%. So I mean, that is so amazing, because with other YWAM outreaches, you might go to one nation, and here in your work, you're facilitating an opportunity to be able to experience cross-culturally, almost on an immersion level, an experience with multiple cultures,
Yeah,
and including societal needs within the Canadian context.
yeah.
Far out, man. Yeah. How has that affected you personally?
I think it's impacted me in the way that I get to see youth have a place in ministry
Hmm.
and get to hear their stories or how they're impacted. Um, and that there's like a place for everyone. And as YWAM is Youth with a Mission, so we're always wanting to champion that new generation, that generation that's coming.
That's right.
And I know I was somebody that like was able to go on mission trips when I was younger, and to have an impact, maybe not even have an impact, but get to be part of what God was doing, or get to be part of that impact. And so I think it's influenced me, because like youth come in with just such like, they come in with such beauty and energy,
Yeah.
and sometimes ways that like the people on the ground all the time get tired, and we like miss seeing those like the things in a new way,
Right.
where when youth come, like they may be experiencing something for the first time, or they experience it in a new way, and it's like, wow, like I kind of forgot what that was like, or I kind of forgot that, yeah, you could see it in that lens. And so I think that's something that I've really loved being a part of it, because I get to see that over and over again as we have youth. And it's a good reminder of me not to forget that, like the joy of like that the joy that youth bring in ministry.
That's it, man. Young people keep us young. That's so good. Yeah. What would you say to a young person that was, in their hometown in, Flatland, Saskatchewan, or Salty, Newfoundland, or anywhere else for that matter? What would you say to them in terms of the opportunity that awaits them through Youth with a Mission Vancouver?
Yeah, I would say that you have the opportunity to come be a part of something like greater than your own community, but not just for the nations, but to bring it back to your community as well.
Oh yeah.
That you can come and learn and experience and have even just like with your group, but like to go home and to do prayer stations in your own community, to prayer walk on the streets in your own community. That you like, and over I've been hearing lately that like that youth aren't just, we're not just waiting for them to lead later in life. Like youth are leading right now in their own schools, and so we want to champion that. We want to give the tools and the resources and the space to even like explore what that looks like with their friends or with their youth pastors, so that way they can go back home to their schools and have those times of connections with
Wow.
friends that don't even believe in Jesus. And if they've gotten to pray for a stranger on the streets in Vancouver, then they can definitely pray for a friend in their school.
That takes a lot of courage.
Yeah.
You have to reach out. Sometimes the first one is the hardest. It gets easier as you go.
Yeah.
Practice makes perfect.
It does.
That's so cool. Well, thank you so much, Isabella, for giving such an opportunity to Canadian and international youth to be able to connect with Jesus in a personal way through the ministry of YWAM. Thank you as well for the opportunity to train them or mentor them in sharing their faith openly, boldly. Yeah, what a great thing. May God bless you and your ministry.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, yeah, thanks.